In its maiden voyage, the Titanic would have taken 137 hours to cross the Atlantic Ocean. But today's build would have only done it in 3.5 hours. Not even enough time to watch the original Titanic movie. And that's only half the time that it would take for a normal airplane to cross the Atlantic Ocean. And what airplane am I talking about? Well, I am talking about the SST, the Concorde. So, without further ado, let's get into today's build. I'm super excited. Welcome to Bricks and Toys. My name is Brandon, and I really hope you all are ready to take off for a super unique and awesome build today. I know I always say this build is awesome, this build's going to be incredible, but I really think today is a very special build. And the reason is because I wasn't going to do it. I did not understand it, and thus I didn't think that it was really important. But what I like to do when I feel that way is do some research and learn and see if I can soften my heart and my opinions on things that I do not understand. And after watching a few YouTube documentaries, I learned about the Concorde supersonic jet. And when I learned about it, it went from being this thing that I really believed was this concept jet from 1976, and it never took off, it never did anything, it was just some guy's pipe dream. But it turns out that I couldn't be more wrong. Somewhere in the 50s and 60s, they were trying to make passenger air travel so much faster, and thus they came up with the term SST, which is supersonic transport, or something along those lines. And with that, Russia and America and the UK, they were all off, kind of like the space race, but instead of going to space, they were just trying to make a supersonic jet to get passengers from one place to another in half the time, going about Mach 2. Out of all of these companies, the only one that literally got off the ground and actually had a successful run was today's build, the Concorde. And when I learned about this, I could not be any more excited to actually get into today's build. Now, today's build is set number 10318, coming in at 2,083 pieces. This is part of the Icons lineup, and like I said when I started this video, this wasn't one that I was going to do because I'm not really into planes. I'm not really into trains. I'm into automobiles. If you get the joke, planes, trains, and automobiles. And when I watched those documentaries and I learned about this, it's really a fateful project, but a stunning thing of engineering. They literally made this jet. It ran for over 20 years successfully with a fleet of about 14, if I remember right. But it could never do more than cross the Atlantic Ocean because of a thing called sonic booms. Because of sonic booms, when you hit Mach speed, this thing could never fly over any country because it would cause damage. Or so they thought. And so because of that, they only made one model of the Concorde, and they flew it all the way up until 2003, when one of these crashed a few years prior, and then 9/11, and then with the mixture of the technology getting too old, it just doomed the airliner and grounded into being put into museums permanently. When watching this documentary, it really got me into the Concorde, and it made me understand that this wasn't some guy's fantasy mock-up model, and for some reason Lego decided to make a model about it. No, this was a actual luxury way of transportation where tickets could only cost between $6,000 to $12,000. And that's in 1980s and 1990s pricing to fly on this jet. The cool thing is like I said in my intro, it would take you 7 hours to cross the Atlantic in a normal airliner. But with the Concorde, you could do it in half of the time. People like the Queen and Sting both have done interviews and been seen in the Concorde. If the Queen could fly at Mach 2, really, anybody could. So, with all of this knowledge, it really got me pumped up. I went down to the Lego store today and I grabbed this build, and I really hope you guys feel the energy because I cannot wait to get this done. Not to mention, I saw the model at the Lego store today, and wow. This one's going to be a very tough one to display, but it's going to be so worth it when it's there. So with that, let's get our knife out, let's unbox this set, and let's see what it's going to take to materialize this 2083 piece set. I can tell you one thing, it's not going to take the years and years and years of development that it took Concorde to originally make this Airbus, but it will take us a few hours for us to make our model of it. So one thing I did really want to say about the box, for how big this craft is, this box is actually rather small. This build is 40 inches long. So wherever we put it, it's going to have to fit in within 40 inches. And yet all that Lego fits in this compact little box. So undoing the tape, we got 3 things of tape. Not too bad. And then we open up our build, and I immediately see a bag that says 13 on it. So that's going in the range of what I expect. I actually expected more towards about 20 bags. So let's do our pour. Oh, look at that, guys. We actually have a little tiny box. I really would think with a build like this, all the bags would be in the box without an extra box. So this is definitely a surprise. I definitely know we're going to find our books in this package, so 2 more pieces of tape. I do see a bag 18, so we are getting closer to 20. So let's keep it going. We'll pour this out. There's our books. And so far 18's the biggest, 19 right there. I see a bag 19. So we'll see if that is our biggest bag. We do have some sort of what I believe is a window element in the nice paper packaging. We're supposed to be getting this for all the pieces, but yet Lego still hasn't done it yet. So that's good to see. And I don't see any extra bags containing special parts. So with the book, it is a glue flap. So you break the glue and then you pull it out. It's only 1 book. And oh crap, guys. I don't think this thing has any stickers. It really confuses me. And let me know in the comments down too if it confuses you as well. But Lego, they seem to really pick and choose weird sets to have stickers and to not have stickers. The things that they're willing to print for a set versus not is completely unpredictable. Like, you would think a Millennium Falcon, $750, $850. That should be printed. Wrong. Stickers. Diagon Alley, Green God's Bank, $500 sets on average. Stickers. $200 aircraft. Printed elements. So this is a huge surprise. So that's going to levitate the level of detail on this to a whole nother level, and I cannot wait to get to it and see how all of the printed elements work on this set. Because if we look at the box, we will see that it has a huge red stripe, blue in the back that says Concorde, and not to mention it also has a plate that says Concorde with the specifications. So this is going to be really interesting. So for the build in total, we are looking at 289 pages total with a combined 548 steps. So that's not too bad at all. We do have some information about the Concorde and also the Lego model. But other than that, it does not tell me how many bags or steps are included into this build. We literally have to go through the book and find that out. And we're going to take a quick second. We're going to do that. So we're going to cut to that part. The last step that I can see, unless I skip something, is actually 20. So I am right. This build is going to be 20 steps. So up next, let's get this thing built. I'm going to show you guys in and out of the build while we're building it, and then we'll be back here to do a full review on the entire very large set. So stay tuned. I really hope you're excited to see this thing come together. I know I am, so let's get to it. So here we are. We're a little over halfway, and on step 280 and page 167. We still have about 100 and so pages to go. We're on bag 13 going up next. Still haven't got to our windscreen yet. So far this is the bottom of what we have. It's rather very large. You can see the landing gear being formed right here. Before we put all this together, and because it is built in sections, we could actually operate the landing gear, but now we cannot. So somewhere down the line we should be installing something that activates the landing gear. So that's the bottom of it. So far it's been going really sturdy. Just pick it up with one hand, flip it over, and there's the other side. And here we got the little passenger compartment. Those almost look like toilets in there. I wonder if those are toilets. Imagine taking a deuce at Mach 2. That'd be pretty intense. Probably wouldn't even notice it though. You can see the little windows. The windows on the Concorde were actually the size of a large hand. That's a fun fact about the Concorde. So that's where we're at. So far there's a lot of orange pieces that's been used to kind of mock things up and hold things steady while you build it, and then you take them off as it says in the instructions. So there's also that. So up next, since this is at the halfway point, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go on to bag 13 right there. Maybe that's what we're looking for to adjust the landing gear right there. So up next we're going to do the review, and for me I'm going to hit bag 13. Okay, so we're going to film this review segment just a little bit different than we normally do, and the sheer reason for that is there's honestly no reason to put a camera in front of this thing and try to capture all of its detail. It's better off that I just carry it towards you and let you guys see it in my hands. So let's go ahead and let's just do that. Picks up super easy. Now I feel super confident with this build, and I think it can withstand a lot of torture and torment. So let's start off here at the front. So we do have the infamous droop snoot, pops down. That's because the plane takes off at an angle such as this, and that would not be very good for the pilots to have to see. So they did a droop snoot on the original Concorde. The next thing is, between this stud and this stud, you can pull up. It's kind of tricky, but you can get it up, and you can review that interior. That is really cool. And I think those are toilets. I'm not exactly sure. And that goes back together just as simple. Da-da-da. Going along the side of the jet, you can see the windows. And you can see where those windows kind of break up to where those toilets are. This is all printed elements, if not brick, on that red stripe. The Concorde is a printed element as well. And the windscreen is also molded. I believe it's dual molded. And the vents down here on the side is printed, not dual molded. Going around here, we do have another printed element that says Concorde, and we do have the tail. Now if you come out to the side and we turn the tail, we will see the landing gear go into effect. So that's really cool. Holding the plane upright like this, so you can see the delta wing. Turning it around, you can see the bottom detail. You can see that I have a lot of confidence in this. This thing is built really well. Looking at the bottom, you can see where the jet thrusters would be, and that is the back of the aircraft. Overall, not a lot to report on the bottom, but you can see how this landing gear works from the bottom now. Super, super cool. Not to mention, Lego also did include in their design a little wheel down here at the bottom to be pulled out, because sometimes when it takes off on approach, it can drag the hind end, so it's better to have a little wheel. But that's not a functioning wheel on the Lego model, it's just for a mock. So that overall is the jet in itself. And then we're going to set the jet down. I'm going to show you the stand. So the stand is really sturdy. I kind of wish we got stands like this with the actual Star Wars ships and things that we build that come with stands. Not the flimsy ones that we're used to. But overall, it does have that nice printed plaque. That printed plaque basically says Concorde, designed and built in France and Great Britain by Sud Aviation and British Aircraft Corporation. The first flight was March 2nd, 1969. The Concorde had a cruise speed of Mach 2.02 at 1,338 miles per hour. It had a cruising altitude of 60,000 feet and a total maximum thrust of 152,200 pounds. The Lego Group, Billin, DK, Airbus, Blagnet, France. Then the model number of the set. So that's what's on that little printed plaque. I think that plaque is really nice. I really like the detail. So overall, super sturdy. I really like this. And it does have like a 2x2 brick sized little bit that goes into the plane. And basically the way that it works, it goes into that little hole right there that you see. Just like that. And you're able to put your plane down. Just like that. And it's pretty sturdy. I feel confident in it. I'm really rocking the boat. And it's holding the weight. And obviously you can have the wheels out, or you can put the wheels in. I like the wheels in because it kind of makes it look like it's in action. So that's the stand. So next up, let's pull out our board and let's start wrapping up this video by giving it a BAT score. I'm going to go with red for the color. So we're going to do Concorde. Concorde is spelled with an E. So our first thing is box design. And overall, I'm going to tell you right now, the box design was not enough to sell me on the set. Honestly, when I saw the box design on the leaked images, I was like, that's kind of weak, bro. Luckily, what sold me on the set was the documentary versus seeing how many people are actually interested in this build. So the box design doesn't really get it for me all that much. It is rather large, but it does show the internal workings of the aircraft, which is pretty cool. It does have a picture of the original, the interior, and the dimensions. But it's just an okay box. I almost took out my bus up here, guys. There we go. So I'm going to give the box an overall 8. And also, I think the box should be a different dimension to fit a plane of this size. Kind of like when you get the Titanic, you get a giant box. Millennium Falcon, you get a giant box. If you buy a tiny car, you get a tiny box. This kind of looks like the normal box you'd get with a Icon's vehicle, like the Corvette, for say. And yet it's twice as long. Maybe I'm just tripping. The packaging, I'm going to give the packaging a 10. And the reason I'm giving that packaging a straight up 10 is because they put the windscreen in a paper wrapper, thus protecting it from being scratched because it is semi-transparent. So I am going to note that there was no double bags. It was single bags, 1 through 21. Not 20 like I originally thought, but 21. And overall, the book and everything, it was just done really well. Our next thing is build quality. Now, build quality is something that I always overly crack down on. But you guys have seen me already in this review. Just grab this thing and pick it up. And one of the things I wanted to say about this is, I mean, that's build quality for y'all right there. But you build the wing up like that. And in the core of the wing is the fuselage or whatever they call that on an airplane. So they really build this thing out really well. And I'm super always eager to really show like how much I really trust this build. Next up on our list is part usage. I'm going to give the part usage an 8 because it's just run-of-the-mill, nothing special, but it does have printed elements, so nothing too crazy, just an 8. Playability, I'm going to score playability a 6 because there's really no play function of the set, but it's not made to be playable, so we just kind of got to weigh that out. So ease of display is going to be an 8 because it is going to be a little bit of a challenge to display this, but I already have a place in my house on a table for this already, so it's going to be super easy just to plug and play and put it right there. So an 8. We're going to null out minifigs because these sets don't come with them, so we're going to put that as a 0, but technically we don't count it. So next up is availability. The set, to my knowledge, is still available online and at my local Lego store. And a big reason because of this is because right now we're getting it early because we're insiders, if that really means anything. The official sale of the set isn't until either the day I make this video or the day after that I release it, one of those two, and then maybe it might sell out, but as far as I know, they still have some stock saved up for when it does go on full sale. So availability is a 10. So the price of this set is $199.99 here in the US, so $200. And for that $200, you are getting a 2,000 piece set that is 40 inches in length. Building the set, I really think that you get your money's worth with this set. I really had a lot of fun with this set. This set was very easy to get down to bag 21, and I couldn't stop building it. Like, it was painful for me to say, this is the end of the night, I gotta stop, go to bed, pick it up tomorrow. No, this set just kept me wanting to go. And I think for $200, that is a really good deal. So I'm going to give that a 10. With those words I just said, I'm going to roll that over to fun and give fun a 9 because this set was so much fun to build. Like, maybe it's because I don't build enough aircraft and NASA space shuttles. I build a lot of Star Wars ships. But something about building this was really engaging. It was really fun. I think it's because I had an idea in my head to build it one way, and Lego completely flipped the script and built it the other way. Because I was thinking you would build a left wing, a right wing, and then the center section, and it all comes together. No, you build the whole wing, and then the fuselage comes up from it. And it was just really fun just to see the building techniques of this set. So let's add up these scores and let's give this set a number. So in total, the set scores a 79, but we're going to null out that minifigure and we're going to give it an 89. For the first time in a long time or ever, I feel like 89 is a little bit low for this set. It does put it in the easy to recommend, but me personally, I feel like this set deserves a 95 to 100 very easily. But the score is what the score is. I guess I didn't have to be as harsh on some things as I was, but that is what I do, is to be honest with the set. It's an incredible set. It's awesome fun. I really think if you guys are looking for something new, something different, and something that's not over $200, this slides in right in that price range, and it is a definite recommend. Go out and do it, try it, and then, hell, even if you have kids, build it with your kids. It'll be fun for you guys to go and learn about the Concorde while you build it. It's a really cool story, and it's really cool to get the model and kind of learn about it as you build it, because there's facts all throughout the book. So with that one, guys, comment down below, what do you think about the Lego Icons Concorde? Do you like it? Do you have it? Are you on the fence about it? Do you have any questions for me about the set? Drop them all below. I love to read what you guys have to say. And one thing I want to say on this video is, I want to say I see all you guys watching the videos, liking the videos, and obviously I get to all of your comments. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. Lately, things have been going really well. So I just want to say thank you so much for all of the watches, the likes, everything. Thank you. And on that one, I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you all have a really good one.